Good day, my name is Sean, and for today's topic, we are going to take a deep dive to the world of SEO. For today, I will be discussing a lot of things. Some points include what is SEO, especially if you are a person who is not coming from a technical background. Which approach should you use? Should you use the organic or the non-organic approach? Should it matter? What's the best, especially if you have a business and you want to promote it over the web? What are the available channels right there in the digital marketing platform that you can use as an alternative? And we're also going to be talking about who are you, what is your role in the context of SEO. Are you a business person, or are you a content creator or a developer? And if ever you are a developer, what tech of choice should you use? What is more, or which is more viable in the future? What technology somehow you will get much more benefit in the long run? And we're also going to be taking a look later on. We're going to be taking a look at a website which has a very good SEO implementation versus the ones with not. And as a conclusion, I'll be giving my closing thoughts about today's topic. So let's first begin by defining what SEO is. So SEO literally means, or it stands for search engine optimization, and by description it means it's the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of traffic to your website through organic and also non-organic search engine results. Later on, we're going to be talking about the difference between organic and non-organic results in a minute. But so basically, what SEO is, it's the name given to activity that attempts to improve search engine rankings. So in search results on Google, it displays the links to pages it considers relevant and authoritative. So authority is mostly measured by analyzing the number and quality of links from other web pages. So in simple terms, your web pages have the potential to rank in Google, so as long as the other web pages links to them. So yeah, so basically great content encourages people to link to your pages and shows Google your pages are interesting and authoritative, which kind of leads to search engine success because Google itself wants to show interesting and authoritative pages in its search results. And it's that simple. If ever your content, the website that you created, is somehow great, or let's say if it's interesting enough for the public and those were shared by people, then your search rank will be it will rose up, and you will have like an edge from your competitors to whatever content you're trying to sell. And it's an important factor to consider if you want to make your business much more profitable, right? So you as a business person would want to take a leap from the others and take the edge so that you get, you in the long run your business is much more profitable. Now, I've mentioned a while ago that there were two approaches in order to promote your product over the web. And those two are the non-organic, the paid promotion, and the organic SEO approach. So when people hear organic or non-organic, they most likely envision like the product section at their local supermarket. Society has become not only aware but educated on the differences between the two and how it affects their personal lives. Although the familiarity with these options has grown significantly, many business owners are completely in the dark when it comes to organic versus non-organic search engine optimization, or SEO. If you have like a business online or just a website that you're looking to draw more attention to, it's important to know the differences of both and which approach you should take. So, in the non-organic approach, as you can see at the left part of the slide, or the left part, the one with the green one, the green background, the non-organic approach, or unorganic, some people say, you have the following advantages. Because it's a paid promotion, it scales up quickly, As you spend more money, you get more traffic. As you start your advertising campaign, you get that traffic today in instant, compared to unorganic approach. It also targets regions. You can target any region that you want with paid advertising. If you do business in Memphis, you can produce ads just in Memphis. If you do business in a specific city, like in LA, you can have those ads available only in that city. So you can have like that kind of feature. It also has day parting, which some people are not quite aware of. So basically, what this means is that it allows you to pick what hours you want your ads to pop up or show up. Because the last thing that you want to do is spending more money or spending paid promotion during times when you are not in business. This day parting, this applies to those, probably those telco business, which are not, available always 24/7. So they can somehow, save money in paid promotions. That's not the non-organic approach, but in the organic approach, we have the following advantages. So in the organic approach, we have more traffic over time, because with paid advertising, the moment you stop, so does your traffic. So that's the bad thing about this, or that's the bad thing about the non-organic approach. With SEO, or the organic approach, even if you're still down, all the traffic that you build up won't go away. So they will kind of accumulate over time. So that's a good thing, right? So that's gonna help you keep in top above the searches. Also, one thing to note here is that SEO traffic is free. Sure, it does take some time or energy, or you may have to pay some people with link building or content creation. I mean, you can do it and learn it yourself, and you can also notice that your traffic goes up. So, in the paid promotion, it is something that happens in instant, but in the long term, it's not gonna be like a good solution if you're trying to promote content. SEO, on the other hand, it's kind of slow pace. The organic approach is kind of slow pace at first, but eventually it accumulates, right, in the long term. So it's more of a long-term process. Also, one thing is that the listing on the organic approach, the listing is higher. And the reason is, majority of the people, when they do a Google search, right, and they click, most of the time what they click on is the organic listing over the paid listing. I mean, come on, let's be real. That happens like all the time. So with that said, over these two approaches, which should you use somehow, whether you are a business person or a content creator? Which should you somehow get much more benefit from in the long term or in the long run? So now that we know what organic and unorganic approaches, which should you choose? Surprisingly enough, to answer your question, it's both. Why? Well, from a business standpoint, we must always leverage like all the channels that make your business much more profitable. So in the digital marketing platform, we have like Google AdWords, like Facebook ads, SEO, content marketing, social media marketing, and email marketing, push notification. The list keeps going on and on and on and on. And as if you're like a business-minded person, you need to have like an channel approach for your business to make it or to help it grow or to make it much more profitable, right? Well, okay, now that I know these lingos and key points, what should be the next step? Well, let's first identify who you are. Are you a business owner or a content creator? If you are a business owner and happen to want your business flourish over the digital marketing space, then I think it's much better to hire someone to create the content for you. And you, on the other hand, can focus on the brand and products for your business or of your business. I mean, yeah, sure. Everyone has the capacity to learn the secret sauce to make rich SEO contents for their websites or products. But if you are like a non-tech savvy person and you just want to make your business grow over the web, I think it's better to leave it to the professionals, right? On the other hand, if you are a content creator or a developer, I got some interesting things that we should take note of, especially if you are a web developer which wants to make SEO friendly websites. The importance of building a SEO friendly website is really undeniable. I mean, come on. Integrating SEO optimizations into your website will increase your presence on search engines. As Google accounts for more than 90% of global organic search traffic, it is really essential to ease the bot's job in order to be ranked quickly and easily. Here are some tips in creating SEO-friendly websites. First is make friendly URLs. So a good URL structure is a must. First of all, even if the URL structure of your website might not be your ultimate top priority, it is still very important, right? Simplify your URLs so that you have unique ones for each page. Secondly, app compatibility. It must be optimized. The website that you're making must be optimized for all devices. Your website and your content must be optimized for all types of devices that users could use so that they can enjoy a good user experience when consulting it. There are many tools that can help you with the mobile friendliness of your website once you have decided which solution between responsive and mobile to implement. Third is the image optimization. The asset load time and compression, those are really important things because somehow they are one of those factors which slows the response time of your website. So images are a crucial part of your website, but they can sometimes be overlooked when it comes to SEO optimization. Some tricks can easily be implemented to have perfectly optimized images. There are a lot of libraries out there. If you are coding in React or PHP or some other front-end platform, there are a lot of modules which are already published that you can actually make use of as external dependencies, and that you can utilize that for your application to increase the performance time of your application. Fourth and the last one is the internal linking, which helps on building page authority. So internal linking, it helps on building page authority and allows your readers to navigate easily within your website if you provide them with further relevant reading options. Well, if you do, they will be tempted to stay on your website longer, right? So as much as possible, if you want to promote a better SEO content, we must consider all these factors because they play an important role in order to make your site overall SEO friendly. So you are a developer just like me, and you are starting on a new project, and you must be wondering, hey, which type of technology should I use that are available out there? And one thing to take note of is whatever it is that I'm going to use is going to make my website SEO friendly at the end of the day. Well, in the web development world, you might often see SSR apps versus CSR apps. But what are they competing for in the first place anyway? To know that, let's first define what SSR and CSR is. SSR, or server-side rendering, is a method or concept when the HTML is built on the server rather than in the browser or the client. CSR, on the other hand, which means client-side rendering, happens when an empty HTML file is first served to the browser, and then the HTML is built on the browser and the painting is started. So, which platform should you choose when creating an SEO-friendly site? The answer is and will always be, unless there is an alternative that would come up in the future, is SSR. Why? Because the file is already built on the server, and when the client requests it, it's already available for rendering. You might be wondering, okay, is it not possible on CSR? Well, on a side note, it is, but you need to make use of pre-renderer modules, which are not really that popular for the time being, and there's not much that are available on the technology market out there. You can also use proxy services, but more often than not, when you're using CSR and you're trying to make it SEO friendly, the approaches are quite messy and won't be as much as effective as what CSR apps can bring on the table. So I said a while ago that we'll examine an example of a website with good SEO and a bad one. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let me open up my browser. So I'm in this Amazon EC2 page, and this is like a service that I'm interested in purchasing. So what I generally would do is like, hey, I want to inform like my friends, hey, I found this service that we could somehow use for our application. So what I'll go ahead is copy like the URL of the page where I'm at right now. I'm gonna copy this and share it like to a social media platform. In this case, it's Facebook. I'm gonna paste it here on the chat box. For now, let's just send this to myself. So you can actually see here that this is good because the title of it's giving me like a rich content because it gives like the title of the page where I was at and the particular service on which I'm interested at. So that's really good SEO. On the other hand, I was like lurking at this website. It's called Beneco. So this is like a local site in the Philippines or in Baguio. So this is like a community group website. So I was looking at their projects and I was interested in this page, and I wish to share it like similarly to how I did in Amazon, the ones with Amazon. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna copy this and paste this to the chat box. This is pretty bad because in a way I was at the projects page and I was expecting it to like give me like a rich content on which, hey, you are at this page, or the link that you copied was from this page and here are some information. I mean, yeah, comparing both this website and this one is surely unfair, but as a comparison, just for SEO comparison, you know, that's kind of not good on a user level or on a usability level. So that's one example. I'm pretty sure there are tons of sites which are similar to what I did comparison with, but you get the gist, you know. If you like have a website with SSR, it's generally, you can expect that the dynamic content or the rich contents will be generated based on how you set it up, that is. So for closing thoughts, we discussed about the organic and non-organic approach. We were also able to figure out who we are in the context of SEO, whether you are a business owner or a developer. we were able to also know a lot of available digital marketing services out there to publicly promote your product over the web or the digital marketing space. And lastly, we were able to learn the difference between SSR and CSR, and how will it impact on creating SEO friendly websites. So that's all for today. Next time we'll take a look on building apps using Next.js, and from which we're gonna make our own SEO friendly website.